Good evening, guys. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Brit Howell. This is Nitro Autolab. If you guys could please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. It's the evening, it's not morning. I just decided to shoot a vlog before I went home. Today we have a 1990 Nissan Skyline GT model that I got dropped off. This customer just got this vehicle about a week ago. Not even a week ago, and he's already noticing a few things wrong with it, which is pretty typical for a car that's over 30 years old. So anyways, the paint finish is actually pretty nice. It's got a couple blemishes, but obviously this car has been refinished, I believe probably here before it was shipped, after it was shipped over. But overall, the paint finish looks pretty dang good. I don't really see any bad signs of rust, but I'm sure it's there somewhere. Interior is pretty clean. Floor mats are pretty worn, but that's to be expected on a car that's this age. But overall, it's pretty clean. I think these cars look a lot better with some aero. Looks like somebody did some wheels and tires on it. Exhaust system. Looks like a Apexy N1 exhaust. It's pretty straight. Looks like it's got the original steering wheel and cluster, shift knob shifter. Everything looks to be pretty original in this car. Everything looks pretty good. Now I inspected the front corners near the cowl for rust, and it appears that a lot of times you'll see a lot of cover-ups in those corners on these cars, as well as the battery tray. Everything looks pretty good on this car. It's all original. The bay hasn't been refinished or anything. It's even got the original hood and heat shield, so that's kind of a good sign as far as accidents. This has the RB20 DET motor. It's a DET. It's a single turbo inline six. Not sure exactly what to make for power. It appears that it's fairly stock. It looks like it's got a couple upgrades as far as like charge pipes, and it looks like somebody switched out the air filter, which sometimes actually decreases in power. But it does have an exhaust system on it, so maybe that opened it up a little bit. But overall, looks fairly stock. So I don't think he got ripped off in any way. I think he paid around $20,000 for this car. It's a pretty overall straight car. You can't really expect much other than that for a car that's over 30 years old. It's got some charge pipes and an intercooler upgrade there. But I'd like to see what it makes for power, but probably use a few upgrades before you send it out to the dyno. But overall, pretty clean car. So this guy just noticed a few problems with it, so he dropped it off with us. We're gonna put it up on the rack. We're gonna look over everything, look under the body, look for rust, look for faulty repairs that should be done. Make a big list for him. You know, check out the suspension components, the body components, electrical components. Look for oil leaks, anything that should be serviced. So we're just gonna take a look it over thoroughly, and give him an update on what he should do before he goes and starts buying aftermarket performance parts. A lot of people get these cars and they just want to jump into making them cool, when you almost got to restore them in a way, because these cars are getting very old, and they were basically stuck on an island for 30 years before they came over. So pretty clean car overall. Windshield looks like it's been replaced before, but really clean. So I think it would look a little better with some aero. So pretty excited to have one of these in the shop right now. Bumpers are in really good shape. We have a Jeep Compass here that we got in for a steering rack and pinion and a power steering pump. It's leaking all over the ground pretty bad, so we're gonna go ahead and get that up in the rack. And first thing in the morning, the power steering pump and the rack and pinion should be here, so hopefully it's by the time we get it out, they're rolling in through the door with a delivery, and we can just put it in the box, package it up, and get a core. So get our core charge back. So it's pretty rainy outside, guys. The Del Sol is, I like to tuck it in at night. I don't try to leave it outside. I do pull it out a lot of times during the day, and it does sit in the rain. Not that it's really bad for it, but I try to keep it inside as much as possible. Nothing special as far as upgrades on this yet. We did pick up a glow shift triple gauge pillar pod. I don't know if you guys can see that, but just put it up there real quick for a dry fit to see how it fits. So we're gonna sink a couple tree retainers inside the A-pillar plastic like that, but just got a glow shift triple gauge pillar pod. Really happy with the fitment actually, so we're gonna decide what gauges we're gonna put in there. We're probably gonna do a boost vacuum, oil pressure, and a wideband air fuel ratio gauge, because we are getting ready to boost this car. It's not super high on the totem pole as far as priorities, but we are getting ready to do the future plans of boosting this car. So it's going to stay 1.6 liter VTEC. It's already ARP'd. The oil pan's tapped. Computer's chipped. It's got bolt-ons. So we're going to go ahead and get it ready for turbo kit. So hopefully by the end of this winter, we'll purchase a turbo kit for that car, and we'll do some street tuning on that as well. But first things first, priorities, of course. Of course, we got the new spray booth up and going and permitted, so we're really pumped on that. It's our second week of using it, and really happy with the outcome so far. So the Integra Type R rep, we are gonna do Milano red on this car, as you can see in the engine compartment. So we've already jammed the car. We've did that a while back just so we could get the motor installed. So it's case swapped. We were able to get the front end in a high build. Now the reason why I wanted to get the front end in high build and not wait for the whole car to be done is because the front end was done, as well as the rear hatch and the taillight filler panel. So those panels were done, and sometimes I gotta back the cars out and switch things around, and sometimes it's sprinkling outside or raining or worse. And I hate when water touches bare metal because it can rust, right? So I wanted to go ahead and get that sealed up. That way, in case we got to pull it out real quick, even just to move cars around in here, that at least the panels that are done don't have to keep getting resanded and re-osphode as far as rust on the bare metal. So I wanted to get that sealed up. So bodywork is complete on those panels. The entire nose has been bodyworked and put in high build. So that leaves us with the roof, the quarter panels, and the two doors, and whole body of the car will be primed. So we still have bumpers, mirrors, door handles, lip, and the little parts like that we will of course be doing as well. But first things first, we're gonna go ahead and get the rest of this car body worked within, I'm hoping by the end of the week, but probably by the end of next week, we'll have it all body worked up. We'll get it, the whole car in high build, and we're probably just gonna go ahead and prep this entire car, and we're just gonna paint the body. We're gonna prep and paint the whole entire body. That way I can send it back to the owner. He can do the assembly, do a couple other things that he needs to do. He can keep it at his place in storage, and then it'll leave us a little more room in here to be doing the small parts, like the bumpers and the lip and the door handles and the mirrors and stuff like that. So then we can do another batch inside the spray booth with just the small parts. So we'll be spraying this car in 2 sections, which is pretty typical when you're doing a complete car like this. So most of the time, you know, if you have a booth like this size, it's a 24-foot booth, and you can't get much more than just a full car in there. And sometimes you get a couple parts on the sides. You can see I got a bunch of stuff stored in there right now. So we're gonna go ahead and dip in there. Let's see here. Now inside the booth, I'm pretty happy with the booth so far. I'm getting a little bit of dust and dirt in some of my parts, and you know, overall it's pretty good. It's not like painting outside of a booth, but I'm trying to perfect that. So I got to get a new paint suit. So I haven't been spraying with a paint suit. So as soon as I get a new paint suit, I think that'll help, because a lot of times 75% of the particles in your paint come off your own clothes or your respirator or your own body. Now another thing is when I paint these plastic bumpers like this is when I wipe them down, I create static electricity. So I need to invest in some better towels that are non-static for wiping parts down prior to painting, because basically these bumper covers and stuff are basically like electric magnets for dust and dirt and particles in the air. So I think everything's just wanting to stick to it when I paint. So overall, they look great. You can see this color, absolutely beautiful. So this is a separate Integra than the red one you see out there. This is for Mike's Integra. It's a sedan GSR, and we're doing a complete refinish job on it. So we already bodyworked the whole car, and all the parts are repaired and refinished as well. So this is the color that it's gonna be. We did color match a Type R front lip. We have the OEM Integra rear bumper that we were able to get and repair. Now, it's embedded, Integra's embedded into the plastic, and on front bumper covers, it's supposed to be embedded as well, but we weren't able to find a clean front bumper cover in time, so we just settled for an aftermarket front, which honestly looks really clean. Most people don't even know the difference, but it does kind of suck that we don't have Integra in the front bumper cover, but we do have it on the rear, and honestly, this car is gonna look great. It's gonna be boosted at some point as well, so for now, it's looking pretty good. As soon as we get the red Integra body finished, we'll pull GSR in, and we'll also get that prepped and painted as well. So we're gonna do the red one first, but we already got the small parts on the green one done. So kind of backwards and opposite of each other. But so here is some 2008 Honda Accord bumper covers. They're brand new. Aftermarket OEM replicas, of course, but they're brand new. We refinished them today in red. They're still actually wet, so I don't want to touch them, but they came out really nice. Just very light, small dust particles, and in a lot of cars that wouldn't matter, but I'll go ahead and do a light 2000 grit wet sand on these bumper covers after they're installed, and then we'll machine buff and polish them out. So they'll look great when they're all done. So we are pumped. Right-hand drive Honda. I just ordered the DOHC VTEC stickers that were on some of the SIR models in Japan. So it's going to say DOHC and then VTEC. So it's going to go about 3/4 of the door. They came from a different country, so I actually had to pay in pounds for them. So I actually ordered 2 decals. I got them in gloss black. I could have made them upstairs on our own blotter, but I decided just to order them. Somebody already had them made, so let's just go ahead and do that. So anyways, I did order some DOHC VTEC stickers for the doors. I think it's gonna look pretty good. If it doesn't, I'll rip them right off, but I think it'll add a little more character to the side profile of this vehicle. Even though we are still going to be adding the Falcon lettering on the tires, we're gonna do the tires just like that green Del Sol out there. So pretty pumped for those decals to come. They're coming from another country, so I'm sure it'll be at least a couple weeks before I see them. But anyways, guys, really pumped on all the projects and the progress of everything. You know, it's kind of like we're jumping around a little bit, but everything's moving forward, and really pumped on that. I really appreciate all you guys. We actually just crossed over 100 subscribers on YouTube. I am so pumped. It's just gonna go crazy here pretty soon because I got a bunch of DIYs. I'm having trouble with some computer issues and stuff. So as soon as I get that taken care of, we're gonna go ahead and get those DIYs up, edited really good. I think the channel is gonna keep growing. It's gonna start growing more rapid as well. So very, very pumped on the progress and the growth of the channel already. So I appreciate all you guys for subscribing. And if you guys could please like this video and leave your computers on play when you go to sleep and watch all my other videos, I'd really appreciate it. Leave a comment. I promise to reply to every single comment. And please click subscribe if you haven't. And beautiful Skyline. Beautiful, beautiful R32 Skyline. And make sure you click that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one.